Okay, I'm so excited. Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you introduce yourself and your role in cider? Like, what do you do in cider?
What do I do here?
In life, yeah.
In life?
In cider.
What do I do in life? I am Marshall Petrony, co-founder, co-owner of Greenwood Cider.
Not in Greenwood.
Not in Greenwood. We only started there briefly, and then we're like, hey, maybe we should have a business. Like, we all live here. Let's call it Greenwood, and sign the LLC documents. And then it was like, okay, yeah, that was foresight's, hindsight's 2020. But yeah, kept the name. As you can see, we're just in our facility. We don't have a tasting room. There's no public clamoring at the door. So.
Yeah, just producing and
so still kind of under the radar. So.
Okay, so co-founder, co-owner, and then what's your role now as far as what you have?
I do whatever needs doing. The typical way I describe it is Andrew Short, the other co-founder, co-owner, gets everything in, I get everything out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's bringing in all the fruit and juice.
So he's currently trucking over 3 bins of apples, 3.5 bins of apples from Wenatchee right now.
Okay.
So he'll be arriving later. Maya is kind of right in between. She does all the cider making, all the day-to-day stuff, and then I figure out how to get it out the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from recipes to sales to bookkeeping, all that stuff.
And you're a 3-person team now?
We're a 3-person crew.
Okay. With like some temporary people you sign on for like farmers markets and stuff in the season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we do a lot of farmers markets. In the summertime, we do a few. In the wintertime, so those are like part-time people, and they usually are a little bit more seasonal, rotational. We have a few that have stuck around for a couple years, which is nice. So,
nice.
Yeah.
They know the product. They know you guys. They like to sell it. And
yeah, I guess so.
Maybe.
They like.
So why cider? Like, why did you and Andy decide to open a cider company?
We started making cider and berry wine actually in our 20s.
Okay.
So this is over a decade ago, to age myself a bit. And we were doing it at home, and cider was just kind of picking up.
Okay.
And just starting to be like a thing again. And we thought, like, us and our other business partner at the time were like, just let's make a business, see if we can't sell it. And
okay.
So we were definitely home brewers turned pro. Never stepped foot in a commercial winery or brewery. In the production side, I should say, until we started our own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went from like small scale to slightly larger to larger?
I think we're still on the small scale side.
I mean, you're not
tiny. We were from tiny scale to
micro craft
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's your footprint, would you say, of like the space that you're in / like how much are you producing a year?
So this space is about 3,000 square foot. So square feet. So it's about as small as a warehouse you can find in Seattle.
Yeah.
And we're producing, I think last year we maybe produced close to 15,000 gallons. Barrels is what, 5,000 barrels or something like that. Quick math in my head. So still small, bigger than some, smaller than most.
Okay.
That's what I tend to say.
Yeah. I mean, if you can do it with 3 people, it's got to be on the smaller side, because the bigger you get, the more people you need to handle your stuff.
Right. Unless you got the kind of system you can just press play and everything goes for you.
Yes.
But we're very much hands-on. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'll definitely try and get some footage of your space before I go too, so people can see that.
Sure.
So why cider though? Like, why didn't you make beer? Like, how did you and Andy meet? Like, let's take a step back, because it's a decade, right?
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Andy and I met playing music. We were in a band called the Fabulous Party Boys.
Okay.
We were a funk band, and he played guitar, I played drums. I was getting out of college. I think he was still maybe floundering around a bit in college. I don't remember. Met there, played music for several years. Lived together. So we had a bachelor pad up in Greenwood.
Okay.
And we were living there, and that's where we started making hard ciders, berry wines, pretty much anything other than beer. I don't know, beer. We were just like, it's just too much equipment. Like
I don't want to have to boil stuff.
Yeah. So he and his brother were making the berry wines. They were making huckleberry wine, elderberry wine, hawthorn wine, just kind of whatever they were getting their hands on. And I was making cider because I worked for a produce delivery company at the time. They're still around, Pacific Coast Harvest.
Okay.
I was their only employee for like the first 2.5 years they were in business. So I'm sure they figure out the kinks now, but they were not good at ordering fruit. Every week they would have like a box or two of apples left over.
Okay.
And I had just taken home and got my hands on a press and started doing 5 gallons at a time, 10 gallons at a time.
Okay.
And just kind of took over the basement and took over the garage and
yeah. Well, when the apples are free, I'm assuming, then it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, well, let's just squish them and see what happens. And
free booze.
Yeah, we were broke in our 20s and a couple of musicians.
And correct me if I'm wrong, in the beginning of Greenwood Cider, was it kind of like you were doing that and foraging and getting your apples that way rather than?
Yes. So we are not orchard owners. We're not state orchard landowners. So we would go and forage whatever we could find.
Okay.
We've almost had the cops called on us a couple times. Usually we get for people's permission and and then just kind of there's a handful of people who had like old orchards that they weren't doing anything with, like they bought a house out in the county or something like that, and they were like, hey, I got like 10 trees, you want to come look at them? And so there's a few people like that we kind of picked from like these kind of like sort of old homestead orchards from way back in the day, and that's kind of how we got started. Just foraging, not paying for fruit, doing little tiny batches, doing really kind of rustic, esoteric stuff, and then eventually we had to figure out how to kind of streamline it a little bit. And that's when we started like playing around more with like our, your typical Washington apple stuff.
Okay. So. And you were foraging the huckleberries, right, for your huckleberry cider, like going out and getting them in the mountains.
In the woods. Yeah.
Which is time intensive.
And we go up there for maybe a couple weeks. Sometimes maybe like a little less. Go up a couple days at a time, come back down, drop off berries, shower, go back up. Camp a few nights out there.
Yeah.
Sleep under the stars and pick berries. Sometimes pick berries under moonlight because that's when it's like coolest. And
when it's August. Because huckleberries are like August, right?
Usually, like August, early September. So it gets warm and sometimes we bring friends up and blindfold them on the way up there so they don't
know where your huckleberry spot is.
Don't divulge, so
you got like the secret in on where the huckleberries are, but now you're too big of a production to do it
it's more, we're kind of too busy running the business to go up and get them ourselves. We still work with like local suppliers because you have to forage huckleberries. They're not domesticated. And also like it was kind of like as the business was picking up, wildfires became more of a thing. There were a couple times we were up there. I was like, this is getting kind of sketchy. Like
we need to leave.
It's like we're on a ridge and we can see out. And it's like, oh, that's like over the other valley. Like, I don't know how,
like how quickly
where's the wind going? Like, so there's a little bit of that we had to just be like, I don't know. Huckleberries are definitely probably worth dying over, but we were just kind of like, other people.
Not worth wasting the resources for them to come and find you.
True.
That's really what it is.
It's a good way to
like,
put it.
You're going to be out there harvesting them, and then you're going to get in trouble, and you're going to call.
Right.
And they're going to have to come rescue you instead of doing what they should be doing.
And then they're probably going to take all our berries.
So you said about 10 years you guys have been in business because you just had the Decade Cider come out this last year, right?
Yeah, right behind you is the last of our Decade cider, which is
I'm gonna grab one.
There you go. Yeah, it
was the first one you guys did in cans.
First can release. Yeah, so that was a big mix of just everything we've done over the years: apples, Asian pears, wild apples, city apples, because we work with city fruit. So a little bit of that forage thing, a little bit of kind of like all the local fruits that we use. Apple or pear fruits, not like the weird stuff like huckleberries. But in our first can, so that was a frustrating step to take, but we've done it. Ripped the Band-Aid off. So. And
now that you've done it, you're just gonna keep doing some of them.
When
it makes sense.
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing some of them. We're still doing it ourselves. So it's we're doing little bits at a time, and just we kind of have a habit of doing things the worst possible way in the beginning, and then figuring out how much it sucks, and then improving on it from there. So
by necessity.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're very bootstrappy here. So
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about the cidery and like the beginnings of it and the foraging and all of that. What do you think makes your cider special or unique?
Well, we definitely play around with a lot of weird flavors. Got like lingonberry here in front of us, which is the only lingonberry cider in production, I believe. At least on this part of the West Coast or this part of those states.
I can fact check it.
Yeah,
I'll put in a little aside in there if it's not.
Check that. A little asterisk, little pop up, or like, where you can cut and just be like really dry. That's not true.
Yeah.
Liars. Yeah. So we definitely do a lot of that stuff. We do a lot more. We're kind of like between modern and like traditional. Okay. Kind of how I just covered up my mic. How I describe it. So everything matures a little longer. You know, I think there's a little more depth of flavor and character that happens there. Everything's a little bit towards the rustic side. Not like super clean, but we definitely do some like cleaner things. Okay. Yeah, just try to give a wide berth of stuff. Like the lingonberries, the unique ingredient. The natural right next to it is like 100% wild ferment. Oh, okay. With cider heirloom fruit, and this is a single varietal of a modern apple. So it's just like a big. We just try to do as much as possible because it's just like that's what we like to do. Yeah. So. If it interests you, you're gonna try it and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Exactly. I sometimes tell people it's like I know our cider's not for everybody. Yeah. Like we're just kind of doing what we want to do, and like maybe someone will buy it. I don't know. Yeah. So it's worked out. But you have so many different types even within your line that like if you're somebody who likes a wild fermented cider, there you go. If you want something with adjuncts in it, like the lingonberry is delicious and also different than what you can get. Yeah. So most of your ciders, you're letting them age for a little while? Yes. Our typical fermentation lasts about a month, which is, shorter than, people who are pressing cider fruit at their orchard. Yeah. Sometimes, doing like a really cold thing, maybe outdoors or ambient temperature. And much longer than the large scale producers who are turning it out in like 10 days or something like that. So 10 days to 2 weeks. Yeah, yeah. And then some of them you let barrel it. You have some like a little barrel program. Yeah, so you let some of them barrel age for a while. Yes, and all that, so. Yeah. So after the fermentation, everything we do is unfiltered. Mm-hmm. So it sits for in between 3 to 6 months. Just our basic stuff, and then the barrel aging. Sometimes we'll throw stuff in a barrel that'll sit for a year or two. Oh wow! Just kind of keep tasting it every so often, seeing how we like it, and deciding if it's getting worse or better. Yeah. So everything is I say between 3 and 15 months typically. Okay. In terms of our schedule, so it's a little bit, and we're always pressing too, which is unique. Like I said, Andy's getting apples right now. It's December. Apples haven't been picked for a few months. But we're just kind of constantly pressing, constantly rolling new batches through, and then keeping the harvest stuff kind of throughout the year. So, do you normally just buy apples, or are you also getting juice? No, we just buy apples. You just buy apples, so you press all of your own juice in house, and then go from there. Yeah, and so that's kind of unique too, because we are we're controlling that whole process. Like we're getting, apples, either fresh apples from the orchards that we work with during harvest season, or we're getting cold storage stuff that we press immediately. It's not ultra pasteurized. When you get it on a truck or something like that, it's not frozen. None of that stuff is happening. Yeah. So we're keeping it very like. And you get to choose if you want to let it sit and like macerate or whatever it's called. Yeah, right. Do all of that stuff. You get to determine. Yeah, we get to determine all of that. Okay. We do some weird things with pears when we get pears. Try to mess with those and try to make a decent perry, but we still struggle with that. I was talking to somebody about perries, and I was like, it's one of those things where once you figure it out, like it's good, you're good to go. I think. Like, well, I mean, other than like the little roadblocks, but like figuring it out is hard. Yeah, and like it can go bad so quickly and just taste gross. Yeah, it can turn fast, and it's just you gotta. I don't know. We're also very minimalist. We try to like do as little as possible to the cider, just kind of try to keep it in the guardrails a little bit. Sometimes it strays away, but in pears, we'll try to tweak like one little thing every year just to see like, does that improve it? Does that improve it? And I think we've made like one passable perry. Like 8 years of.
If you're not happy with it, what do you do with it?
Do
you just turn it into a blend?
we got some tricks.
Okay.
The only batches we've dumped are pear batches.
Okay.
And we've never dumped. We've rarely ever dumped anything, but the only batch was like, this is just
like something happened where we can't bring it back.
Yeah, it's not coming back. So we've dumped a pear batch. But usually we make a blend. Like, I'm not saying the pears in this are bad, but maybe they don't stand out on their own. Like, they're not like I don't know, vibrant enough, or
you're like, this is not good enough for just a perry.
Yeah,
but it can add characteristics to another side.
Exactly. So there's lots of times we do stuff like that where it's like, well, this will maybe round out some of the apple, like this kind of apple, or we've done like this winter we're doing like a ginger pear kind of thing, like on draft. So but there's things we can do with that where it's just like, maybe it's not like stand out or by itself, but when you blend it with stuff, you get the pear quality. It's good. Yeah.
So it sounds like you get a mixture of heirloom apples and culinary apples. Yeah. Do you kind of pick and choose what you get, or you're like, this is what they have available, and then we're going to make what we can based on what's available?
We tend to pick and choose if we can. I mean, we're small, so we sometimes have to just take whatever
like, this is what we have.
Comes our way. So that's kind of the story with the Panova. It's a single varietal cider made from culinary apples. It goes by the trade name Pinata. You might see it in the store, but that was one of our I don't know what you call it, a base blend apples, and they stopped growing them. They just ripped out all the trees. So we decided to feature it. Got as many as we could at the very end. Tried to feature it here. So there's a little bit of that. It's like, we liked these varieties for our like base for like our lingonberry or our dry or the pepper, things like that. We like that base, but now it's like, well, now we got to substitute, find a different apple to kind of like mimic the quality of that one. So
was it a bunch of different orchards, or did the orchard that you get them from, they're just like, no, we're going to put something else in?
This was a bunch of different orchards. So it's like anyone who works with like Stamilt in the Wenatchee Valley, they just like were like, we're just going to stop selling this one, and they just ripped them all out. So kind of a bummer, but
I mean, I want to get like an orchardist on here, or somebody who works in apple agriculture, because I'm like, I don't understand any of it. Yeah, it'd be interesting to ask questions like that, like, how do you, because it takes a while for the trees to produce now, so you're going to pull all these out, and it's going to be years before anything new. Yeah. Like,
my understanding is like, my limited understanding is that, there's like marketability, there's growability, there's storage, there's all sorts of stuff. And
which ones are giving you the most crop? Like,
Right. Yeah. I mean, any orchards will tell you that Honeycrisps are the worst. But you see them everywhere, so it's like, I don't know. Someone's buying them.
Somebody is.
Yeah.
The kids, they love them in their lunch boxes.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. I'm like, we're like jumping all over the place for my questions, but I love it because we're just like going where it goes.
Yeah.
How many ciders do you make at like one time? I feel like the amount of ciders that you have made over time is a lot. Like, do you have any ones that you come out with every year? Like, how do you determine your flavor?
Yeah.
Because I heard you say something about draft only for one of them, so it's like you have stuff in different packaging and all that. So
so
talk about that process.
Yeah, if we like, some people will make one kind of cider, and it's like, well, we make this kind. This is our one brand or one SKU or whatever, one style. And that's probably a lot easier, to be honest. But since we are so hands-on with our process and are like controlling kind of the varieties that are coming in and how long we're aging it and all that. And what adjuncts we're adding, it's like we just experiment all the time. So we're just kind of constantly turning out new stuff. So right now we have about 14 bottles, I think, and a couple cans, which is kind of like where we try to keep it. Any more than that, it's like starts to get a little too bogged down. Like the farmers market tables like sagging with product.
You can't keep track of it. You're like, I think we have that one. Let me see. Let me check.
Inventory's a pain in the butt. But so we try to keep like maybe a dozen plus package offerings.
Okay.
At one time.
Which seems like a lot for a small cidery and for 3 people.
Yeah. I've been told that it's astonishing how much we.
I was thinking like 6.
Yeah.
Like 14. I'm like, okay.
No. So we have 4 core varieties, which actually closer to 5 now. Hops, the dry hops, fire roasted pepper, huckleberry, and city fruit's kind of becoming a core variety because we've been getting enough.
Okay, to make it often.
Year round, so it's just we've kind of been able to roll one batch into the next.
Okay, so those 4 usually are in.
Yeah, those are always in production.
Okay.
Lingonberry is like our winter seasonal.
Okay.
Blush is our summer berry seasonal, and then we do the barrel aging project. Like we usually have 1 or 2 barrel aged things, a couple like more traditional, cider fruit things.
Okay.
And then we just kind of mix it up. The cans are definitely throwing another wrench in the gear, but
yeah. And then for draft, is that just like some more experimental stuff that you didn't make enough yet to and you want to see how it does before you package it?
Yes. So there's some of that where we'll test things with draft. There's some of it where it's just we score a bunch of pineapple, or I get a bunch of kiwis from the farmer's market or something, and it's just let's just do a kiwi batch, or let's do whatever. So we try to. Draft is definitely far more experimental.
Okay.
Right now we have probably 4 or 5 different draft offerings that are separate from the bottles.
Okay.
So, and that changes just about every month. So.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever you had available and you wanted to try out.
Seasonal stuff.
Yeah.
We have a chicha morada right now, which is purple corn, pineapple, cinnamon, clove, lime.
Okay.
And that's kind of a festive, wintertime beverage. It's also a nice deep purple. And
wow.
Yeah.
Does the purple corn does it add a flavor to it, or just the coloring?
It gives it a little nuttiness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives a little more body. But yeah, it definitely provides it's a Peruvian purple corn, so it provides a really dark purple kind of hue, and it's always nice, especially when you get the pineapple and the spices leaping out at you. You're what is going on here? But
yeah.
I had it at Pike Place when I was working up there, and one of the juice vendors next to me was pouring, and I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, and so then you're I got to use this in my cider.
Yeah,
I like it.
So,
speaking of the cidery and different ciders, have there been any funny stories, disaster stories, or flavors that you were this is just not gonna work?
Oh,
that you can think of off the top of your head.
Well, I'm trying to decide if I should tell this story.
Ooh.
So you can see in the room there, it's we have a lot of IBCs stacked.
Yeah.
The first time we made a cidra, open ferment.
Okay.
It was by accident. We were just, in a tighter space, and we had filled up the tank to ferment, and maybe someone didn't put the lid back on, and
on one of the IBCs.
Yeah. So that one got a nice funky thing going on. And that's one of those things. It's well, shoot, this wasn't supposed to be this.
Yeah.
But then we try to be as resourceful as possible and just be well, what can we do with this? So I think we ended up throwing oak chips in it, giving it a little more I don't know, a little more roundedness.
Yeah.
And sold it on draft as a cidra,
and
people loved it. So I was okay. So now we intentionally make them.
Yeah, but the first one was unintentional, and then you're oh, we can do this.
Yeah, sometimes you stumble onto something like that. It's well, this was in any other world, this would be a horrendous nightmare of a cider, but just try to pivot, and
it was a happy accident.
Happy accidents, yeah.
I like
it. Yeah. So now every year we try to make at least one cidra and mix that up. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about apples. Okay. So the Panova, you guys made a single varietal of it. It's a culinary apple.
Yep.
What is your favorite apple, either for making cider with, or an apple that you wish you could get that you have a hard time getting? Just talk about apples.
Apples.
Tell me about apples.
There's so many good ones.
If you could get it, that whatever apple it is, in mass quantities, because everybody grows it and it's cheap now, and whatever. What apple would you want to make?
Well, the red flesh stuff is cool. There's more of that coming online, and we're kind of in a unique spot. Since we don't grow apples, we work with some of the packing houses and buy the bin.
Yeah.
And they are very big operations, and they will, they'll trial things.
Okay.
So this year we got, I think, 4 different like new experimental red flesh varieties to try to see like how does it work, how does it make, does it retain its color. We just do the same process for each one.
Okay.
See how it turns out.
Made some smaller batches.
Yeah, smaller batches. So that's kind of cool. In that vein, Redfield, which is a red flesh cider apple, is very good. Makes a very tasty cider. Not the best to eat, but that one's always good. Very deep red, similar to your tattoo. Yeah. I think it's that blend with that's Nevitskiana, right?
Yeah.
With Wolf River, so it's like a much larger apple.
Oh, okay.
With a smaller apple, so it's like makes it worthwhile to pick. And that one's cool. I really like Muscadet de Dieppe, which is a French cider variety. Okay. Some of the best ciders I've ever had were that. Kingston Black is always good.
Yeah. What about eating apple?
Eating apple?
Like a culinary apple that for cider and for like.
Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial here, and it's not because I'm on their payroll or anything like that. Like Cosmic Crisps are actually pretty good eaters. They're a little like the skin's a little tough, but they're tasty. They don't brown, obviously. Yeah. And for cider, like I don't think it's awful. It's like
it's like a crisp.
Yeah.
Apple.
Yeah, it's like usually apple. Like a pretty simple, but like very drinkable, and obviously our treatment of it is different than Two Towns' treatment of it.
Because you two are the only ones that are using it right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that we know of. Like they do it in cans, but you only do it in bottles.
Yeah, and that's a proprietary thing. Yeah, so we found a little bit of a loophole where they have exclusive rights to can Cosmic Crisps. So, you see it's got the little trademark on the side, and they have exclusive rights to can it. And they're a big operation that can handle probably as many Cosmic Crisps as
that they'll throw at them,
and we kind of found a little bit of a loophole because we, again, going back to like, we just want to be doing different things and like experimenting with like old stuff, new stuff. We asked them, like, we called them up and we're like, what about bottles?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's different enough. So,
so
we have not exclusive rights, so anyone else can bottle if they want to. But we have rights to call it Cosmic Crisp.
Okay. You can label it as that because
and there are people who grow Cosmic Crisp who don't put Cosmic Crisp on the label because they will come after you.
Yeah, because they have the rights to its trademark. It's a trademarked apple. Which
IP, old IP, intellectual property.
Yeah, which I'm thinking about like AI recently and like how I don't know how it's going to end up in cider. There's actually going to be a CiderCon session on it coming up in February, and I'm kind of interested in going because like I don't know how you would. I guess I can't wrap my head around AI. Like all I see people using it for is like making pictures of themselves and videos of themselves doing stuff that they're not actually doing.
Yeah.
And then like asking it to do their homework.
Yeah.
I'm like, other than I guess you could like do a business plan or but I'm not like it's not going to do the production for you.
No, I think we're in a somewhat AI proof industry.
Yeah, it's not going to take over.
Yeah.
I guess you could use it to come up with flavors or something, but somebody told me, and I kind of agree with this. Like AI is only as like smart as the information you put into it, so it's an average intelligence,
right?
And like I like to think that I'm above average intelligence, so I'm like it can't do my job better than I can.
Yeah, you got a podcast, you know?
Yeah, like it's just gonna do like mediocre.
Yeah. I hope that's the case.
Okay, we're still talking about ciders. Who makes a cider that you wish you made? Like if you had made it first, you'd be like, yes. Or you just want to branch out and try something like that and you haven't been able to.
I mean, there's some really good ciders out there. Empirical, their Perry, their Quince are all like fantastic.
They've figured it out, the Perry.
They've cracked that code, yeah. Those are really good. Some of the stuff Bauman's is doing is really good. Like I think I had a brown sound from one year that was fantastic. I tend to like those more like traditional things.
Okay.
Like I don't like super funky like Spanish things, but like it's like British French sort of stuff. That's where I'm really like I'm getting that. Even like the Vol cans, the mass market like little red and white stripe.
Oh, Vol, yeah.
Like I would drink one of those any day of the week.
French cider. I mean, that's what got me into cider.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to someone the other day, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's sweet, but it still has like depth and character.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Would you guys ever try a cubed cider?
We've accidentally made one. Yeah.
Just like the natural cider.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was funny because we there was a French and English cider maker came to the States, and they did a thing at Seattle Cider, and he was talking all about keeving, and me and Andy were just like looking at each other because like it was in process.
Yeah.
When he came to talk, and we were just like, I think that's what's happening. I think we're accidentally keeving a batch.
Nice.
And it just happened to work out. Maya was trying to do some pet nat stuff.
Okay.
This fall, and we don't have all the state of the art equipment, but like we're slowing down the fermentation. She was trying to get it pinpoint, and then it just kind of keeved at one point.
Okay.
It's like, oh, okay, but we were just doing a really small test batch, and then that one didn't quite turn out, very good. But we have accidentally done it a couple times now, I suppose. So it's not. Some people, I guess, Renaissance Orchards.
Yeah.
I think he's doing it on the regular.
Okay.
That's another cider company. I appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah.
Again, French style, and we try every so often. We try, we fail.
You're like, we'll try anything
we fail a lot.
Are there any cider myths that you'd want to dispel, like some flim flam that you're like, it's not true about cider, like that maybe the general population might have?
Well, since we started, we were always like a dry cider company.
Okay.
Even our fruit stuff, and so even today we get a lot of people being like, I don't like cider, it's too sweet.
Like at the market.
Yeah. So there's a lot of those people that were still kind of coming around. Like, no, you got to try this, and it's different. And I think that's probably the biggest myth we still encounter. That's like, oh, all cider sweet.
Yeah.
It's gonna give you a hangover, which it might, but that's I think the main thing we're still combating to this day. But,
that cider's a sweet beverage?
Yes.
And that all ciders have to be sweet?
Yes.
So what's next for Greenwood?
Oh, I've got no idea. Gotta get one of those AI business plans.
What should we do next? Tell me.
We're in this warehouse till June.
Okay.
In which case we might have to move. We're kind of negotiating with the landlord right now.
Okay.
Honestly, that's always that could change what we're doing.
Okay.
We don't have any plans to stop, so we're gonna, if we're just extend here or find a new spot, we're gonna keep doing it. As long as we're physically able. And there's always rumblings of a tasting room.
If you don't stay here, if you go to another spot, maybe you'll find one that's
big
enough.
Yeah.
It's not really. I know we've talked about years ago about you guys doing it. Because how long have you been in this space? Like
coming up 4.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll be a 5-year lease.
Right. Yeah.
Because we talked. I think it was a couple years ago, and you're like, yeah, we might do a tasting room like up there in the front and stuff. And I'm like,
yeah. 4 years later, it's still just storage.
Storage space. So.
There's not a lot of space in here. I think there are ways we could, manipulate the room and get like, a dozen tables in here or something if we had to. It really kind of depends. Like if the rent goes up, well, maybe the cost. Maybe we need to have a retail outfit here. The farmers markets do a pretty good job sustaining us. We do 10 in a week during the summer.
Okay.
So we're pretty busy there.
And then bottle shop sales and draft
sales, all that. So I think we're just gonna try to keep going onward and upward. We've been, very slow, very organic with our growth. Yeah. And I know we're still around, so.
Yeah, if it sustains itself, why change unless you're pushed to change?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Try something new like cans?
Yeah.
How many can offerings do you have right now?
Currently we have 2.
Okay.
So we have the Decade and the Prickly Pear, and we'll probably keep rolling those. We had a watermelon jalapeno in the summertime. So we'll probably just keep rolling around with like 2 or so, keep our bottle offerings going because they're doing fine right now. I mean, It's just kind of like trying to extend the range of our offerings for people who don't necessarily want like a fancy bottle or a mid-tier bottle. They can get like a cheaper can or even a 4-pack. Stores that sell them in 4-packs. So
if you're going to the beach or someplace, like if I'm hiking, I tend not to want to take a bottle with me because it's just, I'm like, oh, what if it breaks?
Right.
So a can is nice for that. There's certain activities where a can is better than a bottle.
There's certain benefits to it for sure.
Yeah. And price point, like for people who don't necessarily want to invest in a bottle.
Yeah.
Where do you think cider goes from here? Like, what would you like to see for the future of cider?
I would like to see it be 30% of the market.
Okay. Of like the beverage, of like the hard beverage market?
Yeah, I guess we could go, I don't know how you break it down, but like, spirits, I put spirits in a different category.
Okay.
But beer, wine, and cider, I would like cider to be because it's like what now, like 3 or something like that?
I have no idea.
Like,
I don't even know how to get those statistics, but I like that you're coming up with numbers.
You can fact check it later.
We'll look and see.
Yeah, so I want it to be, bordering on a third.
Okay.
I don't necessarily, I'm not, I guess that's why you have like, things like this, spread the word.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Get more people interested in it. Because I think it's such a unique and diverse beverage that you can have something that's like really simple, really easy, really crushable, and you can have something that's just like super nuanced and like definitely more like robust and like something that crack over like a dinner party or something, and you have something you just throw in your backpack camping.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's got such a wide range, like more so than wine or beer. Like, why is it not more of the market share? Is kind of how I feel about it, but I don't know.
I mean, prohibition.
Well, yeah, there's that.
There's reasons. I mean, if we look, I would love to do like a whole, like, especially in America, like dive into like the history of cider and why it isn't as big of a beverage as it should be.
It got kneecapped pretty hard during Prohibition.
Yeah. But I like too when you talk about like the diversity of cider, not just as a beverage to like consume, but like the people in it. I feel like it's one of those industries where the people who work in cider are more diverse than like the beer or the wine industry. Like the thought of the wine industry I have is like a lot of wine people have been doing it for a really long time, or they're like new money and they bought into it. When I think of beer, I think of like bros.
Sorry,
sorry. I mean,
there's beer people.
I'm sure there's cider people that are horrible too.
Yeah.
But I think of like how welcoming the community is and like the diversity of people within it. I think that's a great tell to the beverage as well.
I think it's really, I don't know. It's a good bunch. We're not like too pretentious. We're not too serious about what we're doing. We're all just trying to like make cider, make good cider.
Bunch of people that started making hooch in their basements and then just went from there. Basically. Like, how do we get drunk cheap and not have to bake it? Or,
that's
like,
the whole industry, right?
Basically. Okay, I'm looking to see about some listener questions. I know. People have
about us or just cider in general?
Just cider in general.
No one's ever heard of us.
People have heard of you, and now maybe more people will, like the 7 people who listen to my podcast.
Hello, 7 people.
So we've talked a little bit about weird flavors. So one of the questions someone had was, what is a weird or unconventional flavor you want to try making?
Ooh.
Or that you already have, if you've already done them.
Want to try making? Well, I can say that the chicha morada is something I've been wanting to do for like a year.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's anybody else who's made a purple corn cider. You might be the first.
I don't think so. There's another one I've been thinking about. It's like a breakfast cider.
Okay.
Like a really light, like oatmeal, cinnamon, raisin.
Okay.
Cider, brown sugar.
Okay.
Sometimes we joke that like ciders, again going back to its wide range of uses, is like you can have it with breakfast because it's so light and refreshing. So a breakfast cider with some oatmeal, I think would be weird, interesting.
Yeah.
Those are probably the more out there things I've been considering.
Keep it gluten free with the oatmeal.
Yes.
Keep
it gluten free. Definitely keep it gluten free.
Have you ever done like a savory cider?
Not intentionally.
I like you're like, I didn't plan them, but it came
some
out
people
that
consider
way.
our pepper to be kind of savory, like our fire roasted pepper, because it's not very sweet. And when you get those peppers in there, people kind of think of culinary uses for it.
Yeah.
It's like definitely a little bit savory. No, we've done some salted stuff, which is cool.
Yeah. Like that sea salt and lemon.
Yeah, rosemary.
Rosemary.
Yeah. So we've done a few of those things.
Yeah. I feel like that's your is like niche too, is like to be experimental and try some different things that people.
Yeah, we definitely just throw whatever at it and see what happens.
And seasonal and what you can get your hands on.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I mean the wild ferment thing was cool because that was the first time we've done a full traditional wild ferment.
Yeah. What kind of? Then you were using like heirloom.
Yeah, cider apples.
Okay,
yeah, so it's the same stuff that goes in our scrumpy, but our scrumpy is pitched with wine yeast, whereas this one we just press the juice and let it do its thing. Yeah, it was a very nice slow ferment. With that, you never know what's going to happen. It's like, especially with us, it's not a closed system. Stuff could get in there.
Yeah,
it could get weird. But this just kind of kept going, and I think it turned out fantastic. But
awesome.
Yeah.
So something that's coming up in cider and then like the beverage world in general is like this sober conscious movement. How do you see like cider reacting to that, and also like Greenwood reacting to that? Like, what do you think of that? I guess.
I think it's good if people want to drink less or lighter or whatever.
Yeah.
Power to them. Probably healthy. I'm not gonna chase that. Okay. At least not right now. Mostly it's just like every January rolls around, people are like, "Oh, do you have something that's NA?" I'm like, "For what the worst sales month of the year?" Like, I'm not gonna. It's like and then everyone else is making it too, so it's like you can chase that I don't know, carrot on the stick or whatever. But we're making cider. We're gonna keep making cider.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make like a lighter cider. Like we're gonna experiment with the tepache this January, so that should be a little like lower ABV, 3.5-4%. So that sort of stuff. I think it's cool that people are doing it, and I've had some that are like tasty, and I drink NA beers, at home, like or at a party if I'm trying to sustain.
Yeah.
But I don't see us chasing that dragon.
Yeah. Just not in your. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had talks about this before, and I'm like, I don't drink all the time. Like, I drink 1 or 2 days a week, if that. Like, sometimes will be, weeks without having to drink.
Yeah.
And when I'm reaching for something that's NA, I'm reaching for like a sparkling water.
Yeah.
Or I'm just drinking water or tea.
Yeah,
like
tea,
now that it's cool, I'm like, like last time, I'm like, it's tea weather. I'm gonna have a little tea.
Yeah.
Have a tea and some pumpkin pie. And,
yeah.
Like, I don't need another beverage. Like if I'm like extending, or I'm like zebra striping, as they call it nowadays, where it's like alcohol, non-alcohol, then I'll just like have water in between.
Yeah.
Like,
there's other beverages.
But I could see, like, as people are choosing for their health or for whatever reason to not drink, that they want something special in a can or a bottle, but it doesn't have to be you that makes it.
Yeah. Right? One thing, and this is a exclusive, I guess. One thing I would be interested in doing is incorporating kombucha into the operation, because I've had practically a kombucha factory in my house in previous years. So if there's a way that we can do that, obviously we'll need some different equipment and try to figure out how to keep it all separate, because cross-contamination could be an issue. But doing like a kombucha or a hard kombucha and a non-alcoholic kombucha, like I think that could be
something that's intended to be non-alcoholic.
Yeah, that could be cool, because I think that's a cool beverage, and you still get the tannins from the tea, you still get health benefits from the tea, you get flavors, you can play around with flavors, and, world's your oyster on that.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah. I've got 2 more questions for you. So the first one is, what is the part of your job or the thing about cider that you hate the most? That, like, if you could pawn it off on someone, or you maybe already have, that you're just like, I don't want to do this. Like, it's the part that nobody wants to do. It's part of your job.
It's definitely, for me, it's definitely the administrative stuff. Like, I tell people, friends and family, like, the cider making is the easy part. Like, like it's the business side that's the hard part. And I don't know, maybe it's me as a cider maker, musician, English major. It's Like I never intended to have a business. Like I just kind of
Yeah.
fell into it. And so it's just like all the paperwork. Like I just can't. And I'm the one that typically has to do it. You know,
Yeah.
we got some help with friend who's our kind of part-time bookkeeper, and but that stuff just like every month, like
Soul
I'm
sucking.
just like, oh god, I have to like talk to the liquor control board and the CTB and like
File taxes.
And
payroll.
Yeah, all that. It's just that's for me. But you know, there are people who love that stuff. So
yeah, and they're
they get
all
off
for
on
it. They're like numbers it's on their visor, and they're tap.
Yeah, they're
little. With my mom.
Yeah,
that's one of those like where it does the receipt paper out of it. And I'm like, what do you like?
Yeah.
What antique is this? What do you? She's like doing her taxes at home, and she's like,
one of those lamps that like only points down. Like,
that saves your eyes. So on the flip side of that,
Yeah.
what is the part of cider and your job that you love, that gets you out of bed in the morning, that keeps you in this business for the last decade?
Well, I still very much like making it, and doing all the different new stuff. I don't know if it's like I'm still just drinking it. It's like I still love drinking it. Like I'm not tired of it. I'm not sick of it. It's like
maybe that's why you have 14 different ones. Is because you're like, I can't drink the same thing every day. I mean, maybe break it up a little bit.
Keep changing it up. It's all just for me. It's just no. I think that's like still just cider and seeing and being part of the community.
Yeah.
Like you said, like is I think for both me and Andy, it's like we've never met like a nicer bunch of people, and like we feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. It's like we're part of an industry that's growing. That's like considerate, thoughtful, welcoming, all the stuff, and we like to have a good time. So, yeah,
responsibly.
Yes, responsibly. Yes, yes.
So final thing is, how can people find you? Anything else you want to let us know?
Yeah. So we're at the farmers markets, Ballard, Capitol Hill in the wintertime. That's a good way to find us if you're local. We do a bunch in the summertime, pretty much any neighborhood farmers market we're at.
In Seattle area.
In Seattle, yeah. Bottle shops, breweries, bars, kind of too many lists.
Total, how like a range of where you go from, like geographically?
Leavenworth, as far east as we go. Tacoma is as far south as we go, and Bellingham as far north as we go.
Okay, so kind of this whole
kind of a little triangle, Puget Sound. We'll hop over the mountains. I guess Wenatchee is as far east as we go.
Okay.
Limited scope over there, but yeah. So little Puget Sound triangle.
And then website, Instagram.
Yeah, website, Instagram. If you're out of Washington State, we don't ship out of Washington State, so Preston Press.
Okay.
Local online retailer. They have all of our stuff. They're very good. PCC, Town and Country Market, Total Wine.
Nice.
Yeah, some of the grocery stores. So
love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.